All right, so today we are diving deep into the world of rhinoceroses.
Rhinos.
Rhinos. We've got 10 astonishing rhino facts
Oh,
that
wow.
we are going to dive into. So
Yeah.
get ready to uncover some truly surprising things
Okay.
that you probably don't know about these incredible creatures.
It's funny. Most people think they know rhinos,
Right.
but there's so many hidden depths to these animals.
Oh, I completely agree. And to start off, did you know that black rhinos and white rhinos aren't actually black and white?
Yeah, it's true. The names are a bit misleading.
Right.
They're both actually shades of gray.
Hmm.
The names come from the Afrikaans words describing their lips.
Okay.
White rhino comes from wide, meaning wide, referring to their square lips,
Makes sense.
which are perfect for grazing.
Oh, okay.
Black rhinos have a hooked upper lip, better for browsing on leaves and branches.
Wow. So it's all about their lips
Yeah.
and how they eat.
It is.
Well, that makes things a bit clearer, though it makes you wonder how many people out there still think they come in black and white.
Probably quite a few.
Mm.
And speaking of different rhinos, there are actually 5 species in total.
Oh, wow.
You've got your black and white rhinos, but then there are 3 Asian species. The greater one-horned rhino,
Okay.
the Sumatran rhino,
Hmm.
and the Javan rhino.
See, I have to admit, I only knew about black and white. So there are 3 more.
There are. Sadly, the Sumatran, Javan, and black rhinos are all critically endangered.
Oh, no.
We're talking critically low numbers here.
Oh, okay.
For example, there are only around 70 Javan rhinos left in the entire world.
70. That's incredibly low. What about the other endangered species?
Sumatran rhinos are down to between 34 and 47 individuals.
Wow.
And black rhinos, while their numbers are a bit higher, are still only around 6,487.
Okay.
It really highlights the need for urgent conservation efforts.
It does. That's a stark reminder of the impact human activities can have.
Yeah.
So, shifting gears a bit.
Okay.
I was reading that despite their size, rhinos are actually vegetarians.
Yes, they're gentle giants in that sense.
Gentle giants.
And when we say giant, we mean giant. A white rhino can weigh over 3 tons.
What?
That's about the size of a small car.
Wow, a small car.
Yeah.
Even the smallest rhino species, the Sumatran rhino, still weighs around 600 kilograms.
Yeah, they're not small.
That's no lightweight either.
No.
What about their horns? What are those made of?
Believe it or not, rhino horns are made of keratin.
Really?
It's the same material that makes up our fingernails and hair.
So theoretically, a rhino's horn is like a giant fingernail.
Exactly. And just like our nails, rhino horns continuously grow.
Oh, wow.
A white rhino's horn, for instance, can grow about 7 centimeters per year.
That's nearly 3 inches a year. You wouldn't want to accidentally bump into that.
Yeah.
Speaking of sensing things,
Yeah.
I read that rhinos don't have the best eyesight.
Yeah, their vision is quite poor
Really?
because of the position of their eyes.
Okay.
They can only see a standing person from about 30 meters away, which is about 100 feet.
Oh, that's not very far at all. So their other senses must be pretty sharp
Right.
to compensate.
You're absolutely right.
Okay.
Rhinos have a highly developed sense of smell and hearing, which they rely on heavily to navigate their environment
Okay.
and detect potential threats.
So you're telling me they can't see you very well,
Right.
but they can definitely hear and smell you coming from a distance.
Exactly. It's a good thing to keep in mind if you're ever lucky enough to be in their presence.
I'll remember that.
Yeah.
It makes you think about how they perceive the world
Yeah.
differently than we do.
Completely differently.
Okay, this next fact from the list is pretty sobering.
Okay.
At the beginning of the 20th century,
Yeah.
there were an estimated 500,000 rhinos in the wild.
And that number is sadly down to around 27,000 today.
That's a pretty drastic drop.
It is.
And I understand some species are even closer to the brink of extinction than others.
The northern white rhino, for example, is down to just 2 individuals left in the world,
Two.
both females.
It's hard to believe that an entire species can be reduced to just 2 individuals.
Yeah.
What led to such a devastating decline for the northern white rhino?
Poaching is the main culprit.
Oh.
Their horns are tragically sought after for supposed medicinal properties
Wow.
and as status symbols, even though there is no scientific evidence to back up these claims.
It's truly a heartbreaking situation.
It is.
Are there any efforts being made to try and save the northern white rhino subspecies?
Yes, there are teams of scientists and conservationists
Right.
working on various breeding programs
Okay.
and initiatives to try and save them from extinction.
Okay.
It's a long shot,
Yeah.
but they are doing everything they can.
That's inspiring to see people working so hard to protect these animals.
Yeah.
What about the Javan rhino? How are they doing?
The Javan rhino is also critically endangered.
Okay.
Their current range is limited to a single location, Ujung Kulon National Park in Indonesia.
So just one location.
Just one.
That's a far cry from where they used to roam.
Sadly, yes, like other rhino species, poaching has decimated their numbers
Wow.
and driven them to this one remaining stronghold.
This might seem like a random question,
Ah.
but have you ever wondered where the word rhinoceros comes from?
I have, actually.
Huh?
The word rhinoceros actually comes from the ancient Greek words rhino, meaning nose,
Oh, okay.
and ceros,
Yeah.
meaning horn.
Oh, wow.
So it literally translates to nose horn.
Okay.
Believe it or not, the word dates back to the 14th century.
So we've been calling them nose horns for centuries. Okay, let's talk about their diet.
Yeah.
We touched on the fact that rhinos are vegetarians earlier,
Yeah.
but what exactly does that entail for an animal of that size?
Rhinos are what we call mega herbivores.
Mega herbivores, okay.
That means they need a lot of food to sustain themselves.
Hmm.
Some rhinos can consume over 100 pounds of vegetation every single day.
100 pounds, that's more than some people weigh.
It is.
What kind of plants make up the bulk of their diet?
Their diet consists mainly of grasses,
Fiber.
fruits,
Okay.
and other plant matter depending on their species and location.
So it's all about volume when you're a mega herbivore.
Exactly. They have to eat a lot to keep those massive bodies fueled.
It makes you appreciate just how efficient their digestive systems must be
Oh,
to
absolutely.
process all that plant material.
Their digestive system is truly remarkable.
Hmm.
They have evolved a specialized digestive tract
Okay.
that enables them to efficiently break down the tough, fibrous plant matter
Mm.
and extract the maximum amount of nutrients.
It's like their stomachs are super-powered composting machines, turning all that vegetation into energy.
That's a great way to put it. It's a marvel of nature's engineering.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
Welcome back to our deep dive into the fascinating world of rhinos.
Oh, yeah.
Before we went on, we were talking about their diet and
Yeah.
the surprising amount of food they need to eat each day.
It really is incredible how
Yeah.
they manage to get all the nutrients they need from just plants.
Mm.
It speaks volumes about the efficiency of their digestive systems.
It really does. Speaking of incredible,
Okay.
I came across another fact
Okay.
that I found pretty astonishing.
All right.
You wouldn't believe
Okay.
how rhinos mark their territory.
Ah, yes. Their dung.
It's not exactly subtle,
Right.
but I guess when you're a rhino,
Yeah.
you don't really need to be subtle.
No, not at all.
No.
While it might seem strange to us,
Hmm.
rhino dung is actually a very effective way for them to communicate.
Hmm.
It's all about sending a clear signal to other rhinos in the area.
So it's like a stay away sign,
Yeah.
but with a bit more aroma.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It lets other rhinos know who's in charge
Hmm.
and where the boundaries are.
Wow.
Interestingly, rhino dung also plays a role in their social interactions
Really?
and even mate selection.
You're telling me there's a whole social aspect.
Yeah.
The rhino dung, I never would have guessed.
There's still so much we're learning about these fascinating creatures
Right.
and their complex communication methods.
On the topic of social interactions,
Yeah.
do rhinos prefer to be alone,
Okay.
or do they live in groups?
It actually depends on the species.
Okay.
Some rhinos, like the black rhinos,
Mhm.
are more solitary.
Okay.
They prefer to roam their territory alone,
Okay.
except during mating season.
Makes sense.
But others, like the white rhinos,
Okay.
are more social
Mm.
and live in groups called crashes.
So, like humans, some rhinos are introverts,
You could say that.
and some are extroverts. I guess it takes all kinds.
Yeah.
What about communication within these crashes?
Oh,
Do they have any unique ways of talking to each other?
Rhinos communicate through a variety of vocalizations,
Mm.
including snorts, grunts, bellows,
Okay.
and even whistles.
Whistles. That's pretty cute for such a large animal.
Yeah. They're quite versatile
Yeah.
when it comes to sounds. They also use body language, employing their horns, ears, and tails to convey messages.
It's amazing how much we can learn about animal behavior
It is.
just by observing them closely. It really makes you realize
Right.
how complex and intelligent they are.
Absolutely.
And the more we learn,
Right.
the better equipped we are to protect them.
Exactly.
Speaking of protection,
Okay.
I read that rhinos can sometimes face a threat from a rather surprising source.
Okay.
Ants.
You're talking about army ants.
Army ants. I wouldn't have thought something so small could
Mhm.
pose a threat to such a large animal.
I know.
How do they manage to cause trouble?
Army ants are notorious for their swarming behavior.
Okay.
They move in huge numbers,
Okay.
and they're incredibly aggressive. If a rhino calf is caught off guard,
Hmm.
it can be overwhelmed by a swarm of army ants.
That's a little terrifying to imagine.
It is.
How do rhino mothers protect their young from these ant attacks?
Mother rhinos are incredibly protective of their calves.
Oh.
They'll stand guard over them
Hmm.
and use their size and strength to deter the ants.
Okay.
They might also try to move the calves to higher ground, where the ants are less likely to reach them.
It's amazing how resourceful they can be in the face of danger,
Yes.
even from something as small as an ant.
I know, it's remarkable.
It is. It's a reminder that we need to do everything we can to help protect them.
Absolutely.
We've talked about the threats facing rhinos,
Yeah.
but what are some of the things being done
Okay.
to help conserve these amazing creatures?
There are many dedicated individuals and organizations working tirelessly on rhino conservation. Some of the key strategies include anti-poaching patrols,
Okay.
habitat restoration, community engagement,
Okay.
and captive breeding programs.
It sounds like there's a lot of ground to cover
There is.
when it comes to protecting rhinos.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit more
Sure.
about some of these strategies?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anti-poaching patrols are crucial for deterring poachers
Right.
and protecting rhinos in the wild.
Okay.
These patrols often involve park rangers
Mm-hmm.
who are specially trained to track poachers,
Okay.
gather intelligence,
Okay.
and apprehend criminals.
It sounds like a dangerous but vital job.
Yeah, it is. It's not just about enforcement.
Okay.
Habitat restoration is another important aspect of rhino conservation.
Okay.
As human populations expand,
Mm.
rhino habitats are shrinking.
Right.
So efforts are being made to protect existing habitats
Okay.
and even restore degraded areas
Hmm.
to create more space for rhinos to thrive.
It's about giving them the space they need to live,
Yes,
flourish.
exactly.
And another crucial element is community engagement.
Yeah,
Many rhino conservation efforts
yeah.
involve working closely with local communities
Mm-hmm.
who live near rhino habitats.
Right.
That makes sense. Getting the local communities involved seems like a key part of ensuring long-term success.
Yeah.
What about captive breeding programs?
Okay.
How do those work?
Captive breeding programs play an important role,
Okay.
especially for critically endangered species
Okay.
like the Javan and Sumatran rhinos.
Mm-hmm.
Zoos and wildlife sanctuaries around the world
Okay.
work together to carefully manage breeding populations and ensure genetic diversity.
So it's a combination of protecting them in the wild
Right.
and giving them a safe haven in captivity
Yeah.
where they can reproduce
Yeah.
and hopefully increase their numbers.
That's the goal. It's a multifaceted approach
Mm.
that requires collaboration
Okay.
and dedication from people all over the world.
It's inspiring to see so many people
It is.
dedicated to protecting these incredible animals. I'm curious,
Hi.
are there any success stories you can share?
Oh, yeah.
Any examples where these conservation efforts have made a real difference?
There are definitely some positive signs.
Okay.
The southern white rhino, for example,
Hmm.
was once on the brink of extinction.
Wow.
But thanks to intensive conservation efforts,
Okay.
their population has rebounded significantly.
Really?
They're now classified as near or threatened,
Oh, wow.
which is a huge improvement.
That's fantastic news.
It is.
It shows that with dedicated effort,
Yeah,
we can make a real difference in saving these magnificent creatures.
absolutely.
It gives us hope for the future of other rhino species as well.
It does.
It proves that conservation can work
Yeah,
if we all come together and commit to protecting them.
it does.
Welcome back to our Rhino Deep Dive. We've already uncovered so much about these amazing creatures, but believe it or not, there are still more surprises in store.
Oh, yeah, we've only just scratched the surface.
Yeah.
Rhinos are full of fascinating adaptations and behaviors that continue to amaze researchers.
Okay, I'm ready for another mind-blowing rhino fact. What have you got for me?
Well, did you know that despite their size, rhinos are surprisingly fast?
Really?
Yeah, they can reach some impressive speeds, especially when they need to escape danger.
I guess you don't get to be that big without being able to move quickly when you have to. How fast can they actually run?
A white rhino, for example, can hit speeds of up to 30 miles per hour in short bursts.
30 miles an hour. That's faster than I can run.
It is.
I definitely wouldn't want to test my speed against a charging rhino.
No, I don't think I would either.
Their speed is a testament to their powerful leg muscles and overall athleticism.
Yeah.
It allows them to effectively defend themselves and their young from predators.
Right.
It's like a combination of power and agility. Speaking of defenses, let's talk about their skin. It's not exactly what you'd call smooth, is it?
No, it's definitely not. Rhino skin is incredibly thick and tough,
Right.
almost armor-like. It's covered in folds and creases, which gives them that distinctive prehistoric appearance.
It's like they're wearing natural body armor.
Yeah.
I imagine it helps protect them from predators and even the elements.
Absolutely. Their thick skin helps to regulate their body temperature, shielding them from both the heat and the cold. It also protects them from thorns, scratches, and insect bites.
It's like nature's perfect protection system.
It is.
It makes you wonder, how thick is their skin exactly?
Well, it varies depending on the species and the location on their body.
Okay.
But in some places, their skin can be up to 2 inches thick.
2 inches. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to get pinched by a rhino.
No, you definitely wouldn't. Their skin is one of their key adaptations for survival in the wild.
Okay, ready for another surprising fact? Apparently, rhinos love to wallow in mud. Is that true?
It is. Mud baths are a favorite pastime for rhinos.
Really?
And it's not just for fun.
Hmm.
There are some very practical reasons why they do it.
So it's not just about getting dirty?
Not at all. Mud wallowing serves several important purposes for rhinos.
Okay.
For one, it helps to cool them down,
Okay.
especially in hot climates. The mud acts as a natural insulator, regulating their body temperature.
So it's like a natural air conditioner?
Exactly. It's an ingenious way for them to stay cool in their often scorching environments. Mud also acts as a natural sunscreen,
Oh.
protecting their skin from the harsh sun.
So they're getting a spa treatment and sun protection all in one.
That's a great way to put it. And there's more. Wallowing in mud also helps to get rid of parasites and insects that might be living on their skin.
So it's like a multi-purpose beauty regimen. It seems like rhinos have really figured out how to take care of themselves.
They have, haven't they?
Yeah.
They've definitely evolved some clever strategies for staying healthy and comfortable in their environments.
This might be my favorite rhino fact yet. Did you know that rhinos have a special bond with certain birds?
You're talking about oxpeckers.
Yes.
Yeah, they're often seen perched on the backs of rhinos,
Right.
pecking away at their skin.
I've seen pictures of that. It's quite a sight. But what's going on there? Are the birds helping the rhinos, or are they just being annoying?
It's actually a mutually beneficial relationship. It's a classic example of symbiosis, where both species benefit from the interaction.
So how does it work? What do the birds get out of it, and what do the rhinos get?
Well, the oxpeckers get a free meal. They feed on ticks, insects, and other parasites that live on the rhino's skin. It's an easy source of food for them.
So they're like little personal cleaners.
Exactly. And the rhinos benefit by getting relief from these pesky parasites.
Okay.
It's an effective way for them to keep their skin clean and healthy.
That's a pretty sweet deal for both parties.
Yeah.
But is that all there is to it?
There's actually more. Oxpeckers also act as an early warning system for rhinos.
Oh, wow.
They have excellent eyesight and are very alert.
Okay.
If they sense danger approaching, they'll often make loud noises and fly off,
Hmm.
alerting the rhino to the potential threat.
That's incredible. It's like having a built-in security system. So the rhinos get pest control and a security detail all in one.
It is. It's a remarkable example of how different species can evolve to cooperate
Right.
and benefit from each other in the wild.
It makes you realize how interconnected everything is in the natural world.
It really does, doesn't it? Every creature plays a role, and these relationships are essential for maintaining balance in ecosystems.
Well, that brings us to the end of our rhino deep dive.
Already.
We've learned so much about these incredible creatures, from their surprising speed and thick skin to their mud-wallowing habits and their unique bond with oxpeckers.
We have, haven't we? We've also explored the challenges they face due to poaching and habitat loss, and the inspiring efforts being made around the world to protect them.
It's been an amazing journey, and we hope you've gained a newfound appreciation for the wonder and resilience of rhinos.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
They are truly magnificent creatures that deserve our respect and protection.
Before we wrap up, I have one final question for you.
Okay.
Knowing what we now know about rhinos and the threats they face, what do you think is the most important thing we can do to help ensure their survival?
That's a good question. I think the most important thing is to raise awareness.
Yeah.
The more people know about rhinos,
Right.
the more likely they are to care about their fate. We need to spread the word about the threats they face, the importance of conservation, and what individuals can do to help.
I couldn't agree more. It's all about educating ourselves and others and taking action to make a difference.
Exactly. Whether it's supporting conservation organizations, reducing our consumption of products that contribute to habitat loss, or simply spreading the word about the plight of rhinos, every action counts.
Well said. It's up to all of us to ensure that these incredible animals have a future.
I agree.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the world of rhinoceroses.
It was fun.
We hope you've enjoyed the journey and that you'll continue to explore and learn about the amazing creatures that share our planet.
Yeah. Keep learning.
And that's a wrap on today's episode.